Thank you very much for this opportunity to just join this distinguished panel to speak out against human rights and religious freedom abuses in India. The New York State Council of Churches deeply thanks the United States Committee on International Religious Freedom for recommending to the State Department that India be designated as a country of particular concern. As has been noted in this press conference, this is the third time the Commission has made this recommendation, in spite of the fact that both the Trump and Biden administrations did not act on the Commission's prior two recommendations. We hope that as violence against religious minorities in India reaches an all-time high, that President Biden will finally designate India as a country of particular concern. Some may wonder why the New York State Council of Churches was asked to speak on this occasion. We come to this conversation because it's quite personal on our behalf, because of our own direct experience with the Modi government's brutal oppression. In 2018, I led a delegation of representatives from the New York State Council of Churches to visit India. 9 of us were denied entry at the Chennai airport because of our Christian faith. We were sent home on the next plane after being brutally interrogated. It was clear through the interrogation we endured that we were being denied because the officers representing the government were worried that we were there to convert Hindus to the Christian faith. In response, we were clear that as Christians, we do not proselytize and only intended to come and meet with people of all faiths with no intention of conversion. In fact, we explained central to our faith is the view that we see the image of God in people of all faiths and no faith. And because we are Christians, we fiercely defend religious freedom. The officer, however, had no interest in our theological explanation and went on to explain that they were worried that Christians would be bringing money into the country to support Christian organizations. If a Christian organization offered medical care, education, or any kind of relief, so the reasoning goes, this also counted as conversion activity because people might be converted if they had more affection for Christians because they were the beneficiaries of such charity. The irony was not lost on us that perhaps half the people serving in the Modi government were educated in Christian schools and were attended to in Christian hospitals by physicians graduating from Christian medical colleges. And finally, the real unspoken concern of our interrogators is that Christianity, by its embrace of a message that in Christ there is no slave nor free, male nor female, nor Gentile or Jew, that this undermined the caste system, which accords more importance to some people than others. The government simply did not want and does not want to have Christians joining any movement which counters an immensely powerful economic and social system which exploits the labor of the poor for the profit of ruling elites. Our encounter at the airport, you see, gave us a window into an amazing cruelty of the current government, where they seek to keep people in their place through violence and intimidation. They defy their constitution, which respects religious freedom, by devoting themselves to creating a Hindu nationalist state where Hindu people have more rights than anyone else, even though the majority of Hindus in India, if you were to ask them, are against this nationalist distortion of their faith. We have a government in India which is undermining the work of charities to provide relief to people suffering by eliminating their ability to accept foreign contributions. And they will do anything, including the barring of non-Hindu visitors to India, which, by the way, is a very frequent occurrence in Indian airports, to carry out their discriminatory and violent practices. So, as the New York State Council churches, representing 7,500 Christian congregations in New York State, which are committed to Christian religious freedom, we urge the United States of America finally to put their foot down with India and say, we have had enough of the Modi government's harassment of both Indian and American citizens. We've had enough of their pursuit of their anti-democratic project, and we have had enough of their imperiling our security, both as the United States and as India. This nationalist effort distorts Hinduism itself and squelches the voice and opportunity of the poor. It creates a destabilizing culture of violence and destroys families on the basis of their religion and economic station in life. Designating India as a country of particular concern is needed to change India's ways and encourage them to rejoin the community of nations as a real democracy and not merely one in name only. Thank you very much.
Directed towards you, sort of saying like, oh, why don't you talk about like Hindu discrimination in India?
I really want to speak very directly to Christians here in the United States. And just, I think it's really important for Christians of all backgrounds in the United States to remember that Hindu nationalism should not be confused with Hinduism. Christian nationalism should not be confused with Christianity. Muslim nationalism should not be confused with Islam. And on it goes. And so really, this whole question about religious freedom is really kind of a front, if you will, for people using religion as a way to maintain economic power. And they employ religion in this way. Christians in the United States also need to be aware that they can get caught into their own anti-Muslim feelings, their own anti-Hindu feelings, and ignore really ignore a broader understanding of the Christian faith, and that we can be easily manipulated by the media, by political power, to take this more exclusivistic Christian view. We must, as Christians, resist this in every way that we can. And then finally, I would just say that as we reach out to Christian brothers and sisters here in the United States who are of Indian origin, we need to understand that they have a variety of pressures that they feel that might lead them to speak out or not because they worry about their loved ones who are in India, and that what they say here could blow back onto them where they would experience persecution. And so I think we just, as Christians of non-Indian origin, we have a duty to continue to speak out. And sometimes we can do that with a little less risk than many of our Indian Christian brothers and sisters.